Imagine being in a bar. No, let's make it a club. No, a bar in a club. Okay, so you're hanging on a bar in the club, and right now there's a lot of people talking about your favorite subject. Whether it is entrepreneurship, whether it's investing, whether it's picking up chicks, whatever interest it might be for you. But right now, it's a group of people in a bar in a club gathering, talking about one main topic of interest. And that's what Clubhouse app is kind of like right now. And it's insane because literally at the time of me shooting this video, I just signed up for this app about 24 hours ago. We are at approximately 2,068 followers from this first day or so. And I've been on this app for a total of about, I don't know, 8 hours. I haven't done anything today other than being on this app. Highly addictive, word of warning. But today I want to be able to share with you why this app right here is going to be a total and absolute game changer. And how you can actually use it to get high quality leads, add value, network, establish relationships or partnerships with other people in a similar market to you. And what I've essentially done in pretty much the first 24 hours to build up this small following. Unlike other platforms, it's not about the following, but it is the quality of the audience, as well as the interactions and the engagements and the deep conversations that you might have with some of the people that you meet here that is going to be far more powerful than just an Instagram follow or a YouTube follow. So think about this app, whether you've utilized it or not. This app basically works like this. You go into these virtual rooms. Now, right now, it's about 5 in the morning in the US. There's a 12-hour difference. It's 5 p.m. here in Malaysia. But so there aren't a whole lot of rooms right now because it's, again, 5 in the morning. But usually, whenever I think about joining a room, I am joining some sort of room that is related to either investing, business, entrepreneurship, or marketing, right? So right now, there's not a whole lot of rooms in here that is about those subjects because it's, again, 5 in the morning. But all I'm going to do is, whenever I see a specific topic that I feel I can contribute as a moderator or answer questions that people ask, all I gotta do is to join that room. So right now there's this room called How to Get Rich, right? So all I'm gonna do is I wanna join this room right now. So right now, as you can see, like the host, Raymond Jones, invited me to join as a speaker. Now, if I were to join as a speaker, that means that I'm going to be able to have the ability to speak in this room, but also this is where I can demonstrate or add value to my audience, especially if I can show that I can help my audience by actually helping them. So can you imagine if this was to do with something that I'm really good at? So for example, whether it's building funnels, running ads, marketing, creating hooks, and that's pretty much what I've done in the last day or so. Here's the reason why this is an absolute game changer. The reason why it's an absolute game changer is in the last day, I'll tell you that a lot of people that's in the room as I'm doing it, it would have been like a room where it's a $25,000, maybe even $50,000 mastermind. Yesterday, I was in this group where it was all about scaling ads, and Gary V popped in.
Don't you ever say I just walked away.
In the audience for about 3 minutes, just kind of listening to what it was all about. And I remember a speaker invited him on stage to ask him a couple of questions, or if you'd like to share some insights. It was really funny. And his response was, my favorite team just lost, and I'm pissed off right now and I feel like punching everybody in the face. And then he left.
I literally want to die instead of fail. Die, death, over.
And I thought it was so cool because now you actually see speakers and the people that you follow, not just based on what happens on the surface level, but now it's like the real, right? It's literally like a podcast that is happening live or a talk show that's happening live, but in a very casual setting. And this is where the network and the relationships that's forged by the people that you hang out with on Clubhouse is an absolute game changer. A couple of things, okay? So your profile, okay? So notice that the choice of image that I'm utilizing right now is actually the same choice of image that I use in my emails. And there's a couple of hacks over here. One very simple hack is that you will see that the face that I'm utilizing over here, if you've ever been utilizing Instagram stories, it looks like there is this red color circle that makes people kind of want to click on my face, right? So just think about this. Right now, I am back in this room, and as you can see over here, I would have been up here with the speakers panel, but you will see that like my face right over here kind of stands out in the sea of participants or speakers, right? Because it's kind of like the only one with this Instagram live circle. Now, it doesn't need to be Instagram live circle. It's basically utilizing a color scheme that pops, that makes you stand out. Okay, and that's the first thing that you could be doing or should be doing. Okay, number two is obviously your profile. Like, it's most of the time, people, when they write up their profile, it's about like them. Now, my profile here, which is basically a placeholder, should not be the model of what a good descriptive bio is. It's just a one-liner here. Peng Joon is awesome at writing his own bios. Now, obviously, what it is that you should be doing in your bio is not about what it is that you do, but what is the result you can create for your audience. Okay, so nobody cares that, and here's the typical bio. The typical bio is entrepreneur, best-selling author, speaker. Nobody cares what that title is, or what your occupation is. The only thing that people really care about is how it's going to help them or benefit them. Okay, so in your bio, the first thing that you should be doing is to talk about what is the result you help people generate. So it would be like a good one, or rather an example would be, for example, I help entrepreneurs scale businesses with better processes in place, right? One line, boom, people understand what it is that you can do for them. And if they're interested, that is when they're gonna swipe up and learn more. And that's when you could put in your funnel links. That is when you can send them to your webinar funnel, your free plus shipping funnel, your e-commerce funnel, your high ticket funnel, as well as check you out. Okay, but one thing I want to mention is that, like, again, a follow on this platform is so much more powerful than any other platform right now, purely because of the attention. Just yesterday alone, in that little room that we were in, the amount of net worth in that one room, like the biggest names in a $50,000 mastermind was in that room. Okay, I don't like name dropping, but let's just say there were a lot of big names in there. And that is ultimately the first thing, which is your profile, and the number two, which is your write-up. Focus on the result you help your audience generate, so that now they would be interested in checking out your links because they understand that what's in it for them rather than just your title. So back to the example of being in a bar in a club, right? How do you utilize this analogy to get more leads? Especially if you are introverted. Now, I want to tell you very frankly, as an introvert, when this app first came out, I was very hesitant because I felt like I'm very self-conscious, and the last thing I want to do is go to like a networking party. If you know me personally, like that is probably one of my biggest fears in life. I have no problem speaking to a room of 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 people. But when you ask me to interact in like a group setting over dinner, over like, that is something that makes me uncomfortable. And till today, it's still something that I'm working on. And I can tell you that in the first mastermind, in the first high-level mastermind that I was in about 6 years ago that I attended, I can tell you that in that networking part, after party that happened, I kind of just stood there and I wouldn't approach anybody because that's just not who I am. So Clubhouse, the good news is it's different. And the reason why it's different is there's a few ways you can actually participate. So rather than just being in an audience listening in, that would be the first level. Think of it as being in a party and you're kind of just waiting for somebody to talk to you. Unless you're a really hot chick, chances are nothing's gonna happen. So the next level of participation is by asking questions. If you feel that speaking in front of a crowd is scary because for whatever it is, fear of being judged, fear of looking stupid, then start off by allowing yourself just to ask questions to the moderators. And the way I see it is that you're actually going to be practicing a skill set. It's a skill set of understanding how to interact with a bunch of people simultaneously, Because let's face it, it is a very different skill set. It's a skill set that is still new and foreign to me, and that's why my mindset I adopt is that all the more I have to do this. What you're essentially learning is how to network in front of a group of people just by noticing good moderators, how they are controlling the room, how they are acknowledging speakers that come on stage, how they are getting people to follow the speakers and the call to action. This is how you learn. It's not just by listening, it's by modeling and reverse engineering what's happening. So that eventually you can go to the next level, which is graduating from just asking questions to taking control of the room as a moderator and helping other speakers in a room crowd control. Because once the room reaches some sort of critical mass, whether it's 100, 200 or 1,000 people, guess what? These speakers running $100 million companies, they don't have time to moderate the room. And what if you could establish and start networking with them by just helping them moderate the room, where you are acknowledging the new people that's coming on stage, making sure that people are asking questions that is on point by setting up the context. So this is how you help network with other speakers. This is how you are building goodwill, establishing trust, credibility within that network, within that topic, right? So I would say those are the 4 levels. Number 1, participant, which is person at the club, sitting down at the bar, not doing anything, okay? Number 2, asking questions. Asking questions, I'm guessing, would be like just going to a small group that's happening in the bar where there's a few people, you know, in a circle, and just kind of like taking a drink. To graduate from there, that is when you're going to the 3rd level, learn how to moderate, crowd control, bring people in. And finally, of course, at the highest level is when you're a speaker and you're answering other people's questions. This is how I believe is our different tiers on how you can build reach, visibility, establish meaningful connections. Guys, my handle is just @PengJoon. Let me know if you're already in Clubhouse, what your biggest takeaway is, what your handle is. We can go ahead and follow each other on Clubhouse, especially for those of you that's early to comment. I'm gonna be looking at all of your comments and following you guys on Clubhouse. And if you love this video, do smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to this channel for future videos like this. I'm gonna be leaving you a playlist right after this that's gonna be appearing in a few seconds from now. If you are somebody that wants to be able to get more reach, more visibility, be sure to binge watch this entire playlist that is appearing in 5, 4, 3, 2.